All right, how you guys doing? What's going on? Welcome to the Messy Sweet Spot. I'm your host Gigi. If you guys can hear me good and clear, please press that one. Today we're talking about Kanye West. I don't know if you guys have heard about what's going on with him, but it's not looking good. You guys know in the past couple of years, ever since him and Kim Kardashian, they kind of got off balance. He has been going down. I mean, from going to church to doing satanic church rituals. And I don't know what that dome he was performing in. And he was doing all this awkward things and it seemed very dark. Well, anyway, he came out today with some more stuff. And this information that he's putting out about himself and his cousin is sparking a lot of concerns. It even got Boosie, the rapper, speaking out. If you guys did not hear what Kanye West said today, this is what he stated, okay? And I have to be careful with my words. But how you guys doing? What's going on? If you guys can you guys hear me good? Please press that one if you guys can hear me good. All right. I'm so glad that you guys are here. We are here to talk about Kanye West. You guys know my forum is an open platform. So if you have something to say and you want to add to this conversation, make sure you click that link at the top of the chat. All right. Hey, I see you guys here. Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate it. And you guys know my love language is Cash Apps. Okay. That is my love language, So sorry about this hair, honey. Okay. But let's get into it. I want to talk about Kanye West. He came out and he pretty much stated that when he was young, this is before he was 14 years old, he said that his father had these magazines around the house. And he would take these magazines, and when I do my face like this, magazines, you know what type of magazines I'm talking about. Playboy, you get what I'm saying, right? So he had these magazines in the house, his Kanye West's father. And Kanye West got a hold of these magazines and introduced it to his little cousin that was 6 years old. And the cousin is a boy. So he introduces this 6-year-old boy to these magazines, and they do activities, together, you know. And he said that he continued to do this with his cousin until he was 14 years old. He said he was bobbing and weaving. Okay, bobbing and weaving. He had the blow pop in its mouth. Okay. And he said, I guess, I don't know if he's apologizing. But the reason why he said he's coming out, because I guess the cousin got older and was doing some. Hold on, let me bring this up. I cannot put this up here just because of the verbiage. But it says the song is called Cousin, and he actually is making a song about this. It's about my cousin that got locked up in jail for life for unaliving a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at those magazines together anymore. Okay. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those magazines when he was 6. And then we acted out what we saw. My dad had a Playboy magazine, but the magazine I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. Okay. So it sounds like the mom had Zesty magazines. He said it's a big difference between his father magazines, which I'm assuming it was women, versus his mom closet probably had men. And he introduced this to his 6-year-old cousin. That's a male. And he was doing these acts. Now, I thought it said that he stopped at 14, but it looked like he did not stop at 14. Possibly he continues to do these things until their adulthood, because he states, I'll read again. The song is called Cousin. It's about my cousin that got locked up in jail for life for unaliving a pregnant lady. a few years after, I told him we wouldn't look at magazines together anymore. So he told his cousin, we're not going to look at those magazines together anymore. And his cousin, I guess he went on a rampage and he unalived a pregnant woman and then he got life. I mean, this is very bizarre. This is very awkward. And this is a mega. You know, if you guys know Kanye West, he is a mega, make America great again. And wow, I wonder what Trump and Candace have to say about their boy. You know, way to pick a mega. So what are your thoughts about this? I would love you guys to engage in the conversation. My thoughts about it, and the reason why I have Jeffree Star. Did you guys see Jeffree Star on the thumbnail? The reason why I brought him back in the picture because years ago, Jeffree Star accused for sleeping for Kanye West. He said him and Kanye West did some things, you know? And a lot of people didn't believe it. They said, oh my goodness, Kanye West, it can't be Kanye West because he's masculine, he's black, and you know, black masculine men don't want nothing to do with no Jeffree Star. You know, black masculine men ain't gay. But honey, Kanye West told on himself. So now I'm looking back and I'm like, it is a big possibility that he could have slept around with Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star have been known to be with black men that are attractive, that are athletes and rappers. You know, so you just never put it past anybody. I know people have this ideology and this idea that one person won't even do, you know, won't do that. And you're wrong. You don't know people. Okay. They will surprise you every single time. Do you guys remember when Jeffree Star, it was a room about Jeffree Star and Kanye West? Press two if you guys remember that. Yeah. And Kanye West, he do like different ethnicities. It's not like he discriminate. He's not like black only. And this is a man. And you know, when guys that are on the down low, when it comes to men, they may not be as picky. I have seen so many DL men. They have very small petite wives, very small, pretty petite girlfriends, but the men they deal with is huge, you know, big linebackers that are bending them over, you know. And if you were to assume, you'd be like, oh my goodness, he loves small petite women. He would never get bent over. He would never even be with another man. You would be surprised. You cannot judge a book by its cover. But people are betting for you to judge a book by its cover because when you do, it gives them more cover, you know? So that's on you guys for keep on judging people based on aesthetics. And you just really don't know. You just cannot judge. You just never know what a person would be into, attracted to. I do feel like DL men, they're not that picky when it comes to men versus when it comes to dealing with women. And the reason why that is because women, they deal within the public. Women, it's about association. That's why he probably chose Kim because she's beautiful. All these guys like her. You know, it boosts his masculinity because when men see you with a beautiful girl or a petite girl, they like, man, you the man. Oh my God, look at him. He got all the bad bees. He is the man. It gives you a manhood validation where all these men are looking up to you and they admire that you can pull these women, you know, they give you big ups. So when it comes to what they do in the dark, they don't have to worry about being with the best looking gay man or whatever because ain't nobody gonna see it. It's just gonna be for the thrill, and they just want him because he got a male body, and they gonna do what they do. Hell, a lot of these DL men, they be going to these spaces. It be dark. They be going to these houses. It be dark. They don't know who going on. They got all these black rooms with holes. They just sticking stuff in a hole. And it don't matter. They reckless with it. They just want to thrill with being with another man. But they're not as picky when it comes to dealing with another man. But when it comes to women, they want women for different things. So when women, you got to procreate with these women, so it's going to be different. So people will be amazed to know, wow, you're married to a petite, small, pretty girl, and you with this ugly, big back man. Okay, totally opposite, right? But that's just how it is. Um, I'm looking here in the comment section to see what you guys have to say. Make sure you guys like this video. When you guys come in, make sure you guys like this video. If you guys are just tuning in, I am Gigi, and you are at the Messy Sweet Spot. Okay. Okay. Philip said, why back? Yes, because it's such it's different. My wife is a petite girl. And a lot of times, not all times, but some, all DL men are different. They're not all the same. They all have different lifestyles, different values. But some guys will only go for small, petite women because it makes them feel more manly. It makes them feel more masculine. It's not intimidating. If they were to go with a woman that's taller than them, they feel intimidated. They feel like, maybe it don't make them feel like masculinity. So if you are DL, one thing you want is a woman that's going to compliment you, that's going to give you more masculinity, because that's what you want to push. So people cannot detect you got a lot of sweetness in you, So there's that. Okay. All right. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yep. 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 Somebody said stand up. I'm an old woman. I'm 65 years old. And people already telling me I should cover up. So maybe should I start covering up more? Okay. Not sure. All right. So just come out the closet. Come out your closet. Well, peace, that's easy to say. It's just to say come out the closet. But society tells you stay in the closet. Society tells you something is wrong with you. You need to go to church and you need to pray about it. You need to change your ways because the way you're going is not it. Society will tell you you should have a wife and kids. And once you have a wife and kids, you're going to have a happy life and everything is going to be great. So you have a lot of DL men that believe in that fairy tale of getting a wife and kids and everything will be fine. And they do these wife and kids and they're still not fulfilled because they're listening to society and they're trying to conform to society. And you can't blame them for conforming to society because if you do not conform to society, society has a way of punishing you. And especially in this Trump administration and how America is moving forward and the world is moving forward, we're moving more conservative. So you better get back in the closet. Don't bring your ass out. Hell, okay. Just hopefully when you are in a closet, you can find a partner that understands you, like a Jada. Jada, I think she understands Will. She's okay with Will doing what he does and just have that best friend relationship. But I wouldn't say come out the closet, stay in the closet and get with a woman that's okay with you doing what you do. Be honest with her, don't lie, don't deceive her. And it's a lot of women that clearly that is fine with their man, exploring or doing whatever he does. So that's that on that. No one should be DL. Well, what world do you live in? I would love for you to take that same speech and send it to Nigeria, Africa, Nigeria, where if you are a Zesty, you will be jailed or you will be put to death. Okay. So you take that speech there. You take that speech to Russia. Okay. Well, you will be jailed. Okay. A lot of places around the world, you take that same speech that nobody should be DL, everybody should come out, be gay. It's not going to happen. It's life and death. And if it's not life and death, as far as you being jailed or as far as you actually being taken out, it could be society death. It could be your family death where your family don't want anything to do with you. It can be death of your career. You're not succeeding. because people will always hold that over your head. And anytime you will go somewhere, you have people that are obsessive with Zesty people, and they will monitor you to make sure you do not get ahead in life. Okay. So that's easier said than done. In this society and the world we live in, it's just not that supportive of that. Okay. All right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. How about they should change the law so no one should be DL? Well, that's impossible. How can you change a law to no one be DL? That's impossible. What law? I mean, you have to really think, and I don't want to get down your throat, but that how would that look to create a law where no one is DL? That's so the law would say if you are DL, you gonna be penalized for being DL. So when does that start? Most gay men say they knew they were gay when they were 6 and 7 years old, right? So if you're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old and you say, hey, I like boys, but then you get punished for liking boys, okay, well, you pushing your child to be DL. So do you punish your kid? Do you punish parents for not allowing their kids to be expressive or not allowing their kids to tell their truth? Uh, I mean that I don't know where you would go with that. And a lot of parents, they feel like they can control and they want to dictate their sexuality of their kids. So that will be a very awkward situation there. And I would love for you to hit that link and tell me how you're going to push that law that no one DL. I mean, to push no one DL, you're going to have to start at a very young age to push the agenda to live in your truth. You know, when you're second, third, fourth grade, live in your truth and don't shame people that are expressing their truth. And that is not the way America is going right now. It's going the opposite direction. So when you talk that, it does not make sense. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So CS says don't bring that crap to women. So are you mad at Kanye West for marrying Kim Kardashian when he was bobbing and weaving since he was a young boy? I mean, are you mad at him? Don't bring that crap to women. Well, I mean, I don't know how okay, don't bring that crap to women. What are you saying? What are you saying? Because you say one thing, but then when you have Jerome and Jerome starts to be feminine, you say, Jerome, stop acting like a little girl. Jerome, stop being a zesty mother sucker. Be straight. You a man. Don't be acting like that. Okay. So you push Jerome to pretend to be straight. So which one is it? Because one sense you want to push Jerome to be straight. You told him don't act like that. And if he say he is gay, you better not say no bull crap like that. You ain't gay, you straight. What's wrong with you? Okay. But then he takes it and he don't be gay, but he's still gay because he can't help who he is, but he hides it because that's what you conditioned him to hide it. And he hides it and he does good with hiding it. Then you mad that he hid it because he DL now. You created this DL monster. I mean, who creates down low boys? The people that shamed them as a young child to not be gay. That is who creating DL boys. So you have to say, stop creating DL boys, you know? But you're not going to do that because you want to push them to be straight because that's your tradition and that's your belief. And you feel like you have to control their sexuality to make you a good parent. So I don't know how you're going to deal with that. I don't know how you're going to deal with that. I don't know how you're going to deal with that. Okay. All right. So I want to know, do you see Kanye West, since he told us this, Do you see him as a bi man or a gay man or a DL man? How do you see Kanye West? Do you think that he's straight? You know, recently he was going to church. And do you think it's possible where, you know, he ain't gay no more? You know, I was watching a video about Donnie McCurkin, and he came out recently and he said that, you know, that zesty spirit is demonic, you know, and he was saying that, you know, you have to get rebuked. And he said God healed him from that. And I was wondering, if God healed you from homosexuality, then you should be straight then, right? I mean, because he painted a picture as if your default is heterosexual. Everybody was born heterosexual. That's how he paints the picture. And you pervert your mind to be zesty and you go along with it. So if God healed you and he took the zesty out, then you should go back to default settings and be a heterosexual. And if you're a heterosexual, then why aren't you with a woman? Why aren't you producing kids? Because God said a man that find a wife findeth a good thing. So why haven't you findeth that all these years, Donnie? You could have had a woman, right? But God didn't heal you to get with a woman and do it right? I don't believe Donnie. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm looking here and I love to conversate with you guys. So please put in the comment section. Yeah, he is gay and people in Hollywood know he is. Okay. Do you think that Kim Kardashian knew? Was she open with that? How does this affect his kids? You know, he has a daughter that's very popular. People are very cruel, especially to gay fathers and zesty kids. In this climate, it's going to be more worse. So I can see people humbling Kim Kardashian kids and saying, hey, your mother is a whore and your daddy is gay. You know, you can't tell me anything. Okay. And that has to be a very hurtful, depending on how the kids are raised. But if they're raised more conservative, that's hurtful for people to tease you because your father is bopping and weaving and he put it out there. And then your reputation of your mom is a whore and you can see her freaky tape. Man, they're going to crucify these kids if they're in a conservative settings, because conservative traditional settings see that type of individuals as trash. They don't care how much money you have. Money means nothing to conservative and traditional values, you know? So it's going to be an interesting fight that they're going to have to fight. They say Ray J is zesty. Yeah, Ray J is zesty. So when we look at Kanye West and Ray J, and they're both allegedly zesty, look at the women that they date. They date whores. And like I told you guys before, it is a relationship between zesty DL men and whores. They love whores. They buy prostitutes. And your heterosexual man is cheating on you with prostitutes that sleep with DL men. So, okay, I don't want to say much more, but yeah, okay, shit. Whoreism, the whore lifestyle and zesty lifestyle, they intertwined. Okay, they're like thick as thieves. Okay, so it's interesting how this is going to play out, and just to know that they both wanted Kim Kardashian, and didn't she marry a zesty man? I thought it was like a light white man that she married, and then he ended up to be zesty. But then again, like I told you guys before, zesty men, they're going to go after the supermodel. They're going to go after the most feminine woman. Because once they do that, it makes them look like more of a man, more masculine, and other men will praise them. DL men love to get validation from other men. When other men praise them as being the man, that's all they want, okay? And they can do what they do in the back door, you know, behind the closed doors, but they want that validation from that man. Okay, shit. Okay, they don't want to be out the boys club. Hell, and you know, in the boys club, they cannot. They don't care how masculine you are. If you're masculine and they know that you like other men, they're not going to feel comfortable, because their ideology when they're attracted to women, they know they sexualize women in such a way. So their mindset, you attracted to men. I know you looking at me funny, homie. I'm not playing that. I don't want you to get no wrong ideas. So we can't even go there. You know what I mean? We can't even be in the same locker room together, because I know what you want. And you are a man, and men have high sex drive, and in the Zesty lifestyle, they have extremely high freaky drive. It's more high than the heterosexuals. So what's always on their mind. Hell, you in the locker room. That's why they don't feel comfortable. And I can understand that. Okay. They want the garden tool to exact the Zesty rumors. No one should be surprised nowadays. They shouldn't, but they still gonna act like it. Anyone with Kim is Zesty. Possibly. So you're saying that Kim Kardashian, she would never be with a real heterosexual man. And that's possible because Kim Kardashian, she seems like she is dominant, even though her aesthetics is very feminine. When she's with a man, I think that she holds most of the cards. I think she's more masculine as the energy, like a boss. And Ray J, he does give me, he act like a boy, I don't know, honey. But then they did say it was a such thing as gay mafia. So I guess we're starting to see all the gay mafia, honey. My goodness. And Boosie came out. He said something about this too. Boosie, he came out, and I tell you what he said. Boosie said, "Damn, Kanye, I feel so sorry for this dude. This dude been through some shit, bruh. The rants make sense now. This man was sucking D ass, when he was little. Shaking my head. His mind is effed up. I hate him having to go through this as a child. This man coming for any and everyone with the rapture. Whoever wronged him, they are in trouble." All right. So that is what Boosie said. Some people in response to what Boosie said is saying, Boosie loves some gay tea. I need this in the voice. Lord, forgive me. All right. Yeah, there's someone says, what's Boosie excuse for the gay obsession? All right. So people accuse Boosie of having a gay obsession. How do I feel about that? I feel that Boosie is just a part of the society. I think that most heterosexual society obsess about, homosexuality. I think in religion terms, Zesty is the number one enemy. In order to live life, so you can do whatever you want to do, in order for you to fornicate, to be an adulterer, to lie, to do all the other sins, it makes it better when you can pick out one sin and demonize that. Like that is the ultimate hell no. So I think that people also do that as well. They want to singleize, the Zesty sin while they feel comfortable doing everything else, and they label that as normal, but they're setting themselves up because they're going to be burning just like they say that the heterosexuals, because it's going to trick you to think you're getting so comfortable in your flesh to lie, to fornicate, to be so lustful. And that is not of the religion that you claim to practice, and you claim to have a fear of God, but it's not. People just weaponize religion to push hate so they can feel better about themselves. So it's a lot of elements to why people are obsessed with that. And I also feel like in this new age, we see it a lot. We see it a lot on social media. I think that if he didn't see it so often, he probably wouldn't have much to say. But because Zesty stuff is all in our face 24/7 on social media, outside, and it's still like a change for people, because people were raised as a child to always have hate towards that. People were raised and conditioned to hate that. And sometimes a lot of people didn't even see it. I didn't see a lot of Zesty stuff until like I was older, but I really didn't see it. But now you can see it more often. So I think that people are still kind of shocked because they were told one thing and they got another. You know, they were told that black men would never be this way, and they don't do it in our community. That's in the white people stuff. And then it was a lie, so people are still processing. They were raised a lie. They were told a lie all these years because they wrapped their head around this belief, and this belief that they believed in, it's a lie, and it's proven every single day. So they're going to try to make an excuse. Well, is this what's causing this? Is it in the water? Is it in the city? It must be in that Atlanta water that's making them that way. What is causing all them to be that way? It's Hollywood. Hollywood is turning them out, y'all. They are turning these men out. They gotta make it make sense, because it don't make sense to them. Because what they've been told a lie. So they don't understand. They're trying to process that shit. They slow with it, And when you're traditional, you don't move fast. You don't process information fast. You don't like change. You have an issue with change. So a lot of people, they have an issue with change. They just wanted to go back where they were comfortable, that they used to, that they were prepared for, and they just don't want to adjust either. So it's a lot of components, the reason why I feel that people are obsessive with it. Chrissy said it is a spirit. Prove it, show me the Zesty spirit. Show me the spirit. Zesty spirit, is it a heterosexual spirit? These are beliefs. These are things that cannot be proven. These are things that you've been conditioned to believe as a child. And they're just what it is. It's just a made up belief, but you can't prove it. There's no facts behind it. So there's that, there is that. All right. All right. She said spirit of perversion. But like I said, again, that is a belief. You cannot prove it. What is a perversion? Okay. Perversion is something, you explain it. Okay. But yeah, it's just a belief. It's what a man created and pushed in a religion and pushed forward, and it's up to you if you want to accept it or believe it or not. You don't have to accept it. A lot of us was forced to accept it, just like a lot of us was forced into slavery. A lot of us was forced into doing a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, you have to have a strong mind and not to be a sheep. And most people are sheep. They fall victim to whatever they've been told. That's why you have so many conspiracy theories going around and people just believe whatever they hear, because they don't like to do the research. They don't even like to do where the Bible is created from. They don't even know how many authors the Bible have. They lack knowledge because they're lazy, and they just rather take what people give them and run with it. And it's their belief, that's all it is. It's your personal belief. Okay. So there's that. That spirit is thousands of years. When folks in my family come out, they were treated like nothing happened. My family just wanted you to play safe out there. Well, that's good. Well, how is Kanye West going to be treated? Is this Kanye West's first time coming out? I mean, is this his only male partner? Do you guys think? Press 1 if you feel like Kanye West possibly have more male encounters, or do you think this is just his first and only encounter that he had? What are your thoughts about it? Do you guys even think it's true? Do you think he's just trolling? He's just making this up? Or do you think this is honestly true? And if it's false, then why would he want a false narrative out here? Hell, if it's true, people feel like, why do you want to put this out here when you have kids, when you have people looking at you and stuff like that? This stuff, you could talk to your therapist and really get the help, but to exploit it and put it out here on social media when you have kids out here, some people can see that as just, not protecting your kids, not protecting your loved ones. All right. All right. These Zesty men with wives seems miserable. But when they get with other zesty man, they come together like Mac, man. Okay. Mm-hmm. I feel like this. I feel that people are just tired of the conformity. I don't think it's necessarily, people that are down low men that are with women, because straight men that are with women, they're miserable too. Straight women that are married to men, they're miserable too. It's this false ideology that when you do X, Y, and Z, it's going to bring you happiness. Happiness you have to find within yourself. And a lot of people don't know who they are. A lot of people depend on a relationship to dictate who they are. A lot of people depend on religion to dictate who they are. And then when they try, they don't even pay attention to the religion. I mean, it's so many people that say they're religious, but they don't even follow their own laws. They don't even take, to me, I don't take them serious because they don't even take their religion seriously. But they say they do, but their actions show something else. So I don't know. Ain't that call that perversion? Hey, call it what you want. Okay. I actually thought he might be trolling, but why would he be so explicit just to troll? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but he wants attention. That's one thing for sure. He wants a lot of attention. And some people can see it as a sickness, the cry for fame, just wanted attention. Now he's going to have all these storylines about him and his cousin. And I guess he wants you to listen to this music he got. But don't forget, he is a MAGA. I want to stamp that on there. This is how the Black Republicans are, man. Okay. This is how the Black Republicans are. Yes, I'm looking in the comment section. It's 2025 though. People still care though. I think Ye just wants attention. He needs help. Erica, that sounds nice. But older people, yes, older people still care. People that hold tradition still care. And they're going to push younger people to care. And just like you see the laws are changing, like abortion, we saw that law change. So people are going to be more conservative and they want to make America great again. So they're going to go backwards. So what that means is the ideology, the beliefs of, demonized homosexuality and all this other stuff, you're going to see more of a push for that. So just how somebody can try to convince you to don't care, you're going to see a wave to try to convince you to care. So it's really up to, are the LGBT individuals and their allies prepared for the fight? Or are they just so comfortable? They gotten so comfortable, they feel like they shouldn't fight and nothing's going to happen. But like I tell everybody, even I tell the Black community, you can never rest in this world. You will always have to be on guard. And once you feel like, hey, I can take a break and I can rest and I don't want to fight no more, I want to be nice and I don't want to stress no more, that's when the rug is going to be pulled up under you. You don't have that privilege. You're going to always have to fight, okay? And nobody is going to fight for you. You're going to have to fight for yourself to the death of you. And that's just what it is. Because people are always going to fight to take your rights. People are always going to fight to make you feel uncomfortable. It's a group of people right now trying to figure out how they can make your life miserable. And you sitting up here just want to be so comfortable and you want to lollygag and you want to bull crap around. Then when they pull the rug under your ass, then you want to be crying and playing victim. Nobody cares about a victim in life. I know people, they give you this, they act like this shit on the internet and they act like they care. In real life, they don't care. Okay? Get yourself together. Nicole donated $5. Thank you, Nicole. I really appreciate that. A great topic, not for Black people, but everyone. Ye was essayed at 7 by his 14-year-old cousin. Many men live in this nightmare, exposed the dark. But Nicole, I think you got the ages mixed up because he said his younger cousin. He said that he introduced these magazines to his younger cousin. So he was younger than this person. I'm reading it here. Let me go back to what he stated. It says this song is called Cousin, about my cousin that locked in jail for life for taking out his pregnant lady, a few years ago. I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together. Perhaps in my self centered mess, I was at my fault that I showed him those magazines when he was 6. So if Kanye West is showing him magazines when he was 6, how old was Kanye West? So the cousin was 6, Nicole, not Kanye West. Okay. He introduced that to the cousin that was 6 years old. So I registered that he is the bigger cousin. Okay, not the other way around. All right. All right. Uh-huh. So Nicole said he was 7. Well, if he was 7, his cousin was 6. His cousin was now 14 and he's 7, Nicole. That don't make any sense. Okay. His cousin was 6. And if you're saying he's 7, then he's 7. But Kanye West was the predator in this situation. Okay. All right. She says, look how our community, look how the chat is blaming kids. That's why men are scared to tell the truth. How is the chat blaming kids? How is the chat blaming kids? Kanye West is not a child. He is a grown man that's hitting on 50 years old. So I'm not understanding. Can you explain how are people blaming kids? Okay. How is that happening? I think he was 11. Yep. So I'm looking here in the comment section. Whoop. Tell them like it, they are going to hell. Tell them like it is, they are going to hell. Well, that is a belief too, that they're going to hell, because Muslims feel like Christians are going to hell, right? And Christians feel like Muslims are going to hell, right? And then you have all these other religions with different beliefs that feel like each one of them are going to hell because there's only one way, right? So it's going to be a whole bunch of people, according to different people beliefs, that's going to go to hell, right? And nobody have the facts because nobody ever been to hell. And then when do you go to hell? You go to hell after Judgment Day, which nobody had that Judgment Day, right? Because they all go together. So you have people that have passed away 2,000 years ago and they still haven't reached a judgment because Judgment Day hasn't happened according to certain religions. But everybody believes differently, and it's your choice. It's your choice to believe this stuff if you want to. If you believe that snakes can talk to you, that is your choice to believe that snakes can talk, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right. So a lot of people are going to hell. And it's going to be a lot of straight people going to hell too, right? Just because you're not gay, does that save you from going to hell? No, it's going to be majority of the world are heterosexuals, and you're going to have more straight people in hell than you're going to have zesty people. Ain't that some shit when you think about it? You're going to have more heterosexual in hell than you're going to have homosexuals. Okay, let that sink in. Let that sink in. Okay. Then when you get to heaven, if you believe in heaven, if you go to heaven, do you sleep? Okay. What do you do all day? Do you just sing songs? And you can't be thinking about the stuff on earth. Do your mind get changed? I mean, you would think that you would spend a lot of time thinking about your future if this is a place that you want to go. But oftentimes when I question people, they don't know anything. They don't even think about it. They just like, it's a place and I want to get there, but they don't think about anything else. And it's like, are you okay? They don't know, honey. They just are scared. They just taking what they've been told. That's all that is. Okay. What did master say? Be a good obedient slave and you're going to get your reward in heaven. Okay. So struggle on earth. Okay. Put your head down and God will reward you in heaven. Ain't that nice? Because heaven is eternally, right? Ain't that nice? So live, humble yourself, work hard, die, and God gonna reward you. Okay? Don't worry about what we doing. Okay? Yes, get them. Get them. uh, uh, uh. All right. So circling back around to Kanye West, which he had his own church as well. Do Kanye West still have his own church? Because he had a choir and everything, right? Uh-huh. All right. So what else do you guys have to say about Kanye West? And like I said, if you guys want to speak about it, you want to come up here on the platform, feel free to hit that link and come up here and talk to me about this. And make sure you guys like this video. I need the likes because I'm trying to create my own, my own party crashes, my own support team. So I really appreciate it, especially if you guys enjoy my commentary. All right. I'm looking. I don't think he had church anymore. Oh, he stopped that. He stopped that. I guess he soaked out all the attention from the church. He decided to stop that. What I felt about it when I saw him in the church, I'm not even a religious person, but I'm like, wow, the church is so gullible. Because if I was a part of a religion, I would not accept Kanye West because I think that he's an attention whore. And for me to be a part of a religion, I have to really see you work hard to take my religion seriously. You're not going to come up and make a mockery out of something that I hold dear and sacred. And it seems like a lot of religion people, they just want popularity and they just want attention. And to me, they just don't hold it sacred because the fruit that it bears is a lot of rotten fruit, if you know what I mean. That's just my take on it. They just be so hungry to have celebrities and Snoop Dogg grace their presence. They act as if these worldly people are angels or their savior. And it just seems like they just want popularity more than anything, you know? But hey, that's just my thoughts on it. Okay. Uh-huh. Let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes up. Somebody says Star Trek stuck. Well, I don't understand how you can be starstruck and your religion is practicing to get out of your flesh and to be spiritual. And if I'm looking at you spiritually, I don't see celebrity. If I'm looking at you spiritually and you're coming into the Christ realm, I see a broken man that want to be healed. But I don't see you as a celebrity. I'm not going to introduce you on the stage as a celebrity because in the spiritual realm, you're nobody. You're still struggling trying to get out the flesh realm into the spiritual realm, and then most likely I'm going to look at you as demonic because I know that the enemy is going to try to come and trick me. So I'm going to always have my discernment on my tens and toes. But these religious people, they don't care nothing about that. They are in the flesh. They're looking in the flesh, and they're like, "Ooh, Kanye! When Kanye come over here." Think how many people he gonna save. Kanye get in this church, and then all the heathens gonna want to follow him, and they gonna want to follow the church too. Oh my God. That is not how that's gonna go. Okay. They're gonna look at him in the church and they're gonna say, wow, you can have 1 foot hot, 1 foot cold, and you can do that too, and you can still have the religious label on you. Hell, let's go. Okay, you're gonna have that church saturated with a whole bunch of demonic shit going on, and people telling you you can't tell me what to do, and a lot of disobedience and a lot of disorder, because that's how they have seen in Kanye West. He gonna do what he want to do. Clearly, he's doing it, and you just trying to save somebody. You just confuse a whole mass of individuals because you wanted popularity. But that's just my thing on it. I'm not even in religion, so I used to be when I was growing up, but that's just how I see it. Okay, they got that money though, right? And I guess the pastors, they don't care. Hell, they see it as a money business anyway. and then all these pastors that got these big bellies and all these pastors that is big. To me, it's just like a zesty man in the church with his husband. You know what I mean? Because ain't overeating, isn't that one of the sins too? And it's like if you're religious spiritually, you're supposed to fast, right? That's what I've been taught, to fast. And the reason why you fast, because your hunger is flesh and you want to get away from your flesh and you want to have control of your flesh. And by you doing that fast and not eating, it will have more control over your flesh. It's a spiritual thing they do. I don't know if you want to call it a sacrifice or a ritual, but that's what a lot of religious people do. But these pastors and these churchgoers, they ain't fasting shit, is they? Okay. They don't give a damn about their damn health. Hell. Honey, when they see fried chicken, collard greens, candy yams, they're going to town. And I cannot blame them because I do it too. But one thing, I'm not religious. You is. Okay. You supposed to go according to your word. Okay. Don't put that shit on me because I'm not you. Okay. We got different lessons and stuff we going through. That's how I be seeing it. Baby, okay. Oh my goodness. We don't see the struggles and the pimping of these artists that's going on. They sold themselves for fame and money. They sold themselves for fame and money. How do I feel about that? I don't know. I mean, I know people go through that statement. I see it as they was already sold out before they got to fame. I see it as this is what they wanted. I don't think they sold anything. It was more so, I really want this and I'm going to do whatever I got to do it. Some people make it seem like, Satan is coming to you and he say, I'm going to give you this phone for your soul. Give me your soul and I'll give you this phone, please. These people is like, I would do it. I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'll be your private dancer, dancing for money. I do what you want me to do. Okay. I'll be your private dancer, dancing for money. I do what you want me to do. Okay. Shit. And these souls ain't worth crap. I mean, how much value is your soul? Okay. I don't know. I wouldn't want none of them. Okay. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I feel like, my mindset has always been your integrity. If you And I think that not just people in fame does this, but I think that you all do it too. And some people may say you sold your soul. If you want to take it in that route, I feel like a lot of people in relationships, they sell their soul for their husband. When you have values that you don't want nobody cheating on you, you don't want nobody beating on you, those are your values, those are your standards. But when you bend that, you're selling yourself short, and that's another form of selling out and selling your soul for a man. You allow him to do these things and you stay with him, even though that's not what you want, but you do it for the validation of having a man or the validation of self-worth or saying that you're married. And then I guess people say selling your soul because in every religion, you have to sell yourself for the religion. In every religion, you have to take yourself out. People call it a death. You have to kill yourself because you have to kill your flesh in order to transform into a religious practice. So it cannot be about what you want and what you think. You have to destroy your own mind, and you have to pretty much follow whatever religion you decide to do. So I think that's where the selling the soul came from, or selling out, because in every religion you have to sell who you are. You have to take that out in order to conform to their ways. So yeah, I got my own mind and I love having my own mind. Okay. And that's how it's gonna be. I ain't gonna conform to no religion. I ain't conforming to nobody. Okay. And I love it here. I'm not gonna conform to no drugs. Drugs don't got a hold on me. Alcohol don't have a hold on me. Okay. That can be another form of selling your soul to alcohol and drugs. Okay. Because when you on the alcohol, when you on them drugs, it got you doing stuff that normally you would not do, but you give yourself to that to feel good, but it caused so much crazy stuff in your life that usually you don't do. I mean, that can be a form of selling your soul too. It's so many forms, so many word plays like art. You have a painting, and everybody's going to get a different um, meaning from it. Now, you may have one person say, no, this is what it means. And they try to push that on you, like, this is what it means. And sometimes you can accept that meaning, or sometimes you cannot accept that meaning and say, I know what you say, but when I see that pain, I see something else. When I see that pain, it makes me feel like something else. I know what you're trying to get me to say and get me to feel, and everybody else is buying it, but I'm not going to see it like that because I'm not going to conform to what you want me to. But some people, they sell out and they be like, okay, well, everybody else feel that way. I'm going to feel that way too. And they start to believe what everybody else is preaching. So yeah. Come on, Gigi. I want to see a drugged up Gigi. Honey, I can pretend. Okay. Hold on, let me get my motherfucking drink on him. You know what I mean? Okay, this is me drunk. Okay. Now let me not play. Because if I play drunk, some of y'all gonna screenshot that shit, right? And you're gonna put it up there. But I have done some stuff where I was just acting crazy, and I have fun with it because I love role playing. And some people really took it like, oh my God, I'm so serious. And I wasn't, I was just role playing. Okay. Wine. No, I've never tried any wine. I've never tried any of that. No wine, no alcohol, no cigarettes, any of that stuff. Nope, I'm good. Okay. Stop wasting time saying that baby daddy, the father, the ex, not in your life. So deadbeat, move on and teach the sons better. Okay, I don't know where that came from. He's been spoke on this, but now not this way. He told Kim, keep my children away from Playboy, etc. Never explain what he meant, but surely has a bad association with it. Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. Wow, you're just like Trump. How am I just like Trump? Am I a dictator like Trump? Like, what do you mean I'm just like Trump? Huh? Huh? What do you mean I'm just like Trump? What do you mean? He doesn't drink or smoke. Well, I guess I'm just like Trump if he doesn't drink or smoke. Gonna live to be 100. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's a be kind. Thank you, be kind. She ain't nothing like Trump. No, I don't think I'm not like Trump. Maybe we got some similarities, but I don't think. What do Trump? Mm-mm. Trump, Trump. All them baby mamas he got. Mm-mm. Gigi version of Trump drunk is me sleepy. Possibly. I do have a relative that wants me to smoke marijuana. It was like, you need to smoke it. You need to just try it. I'm going to get you lit, cuz. And I'm like, not really, possibly. But can I try it when, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Why I just don't want to try it. I don't want anything to have control over my mind. I'm a control freak. And I love having control over my mind. I love to have control over my feelings, or try to have control over my feelings with my own self, not depending on any drugs or anything. And I just don't think it's no purpose. I'm not missing anything. I don't like coughing. I see a lot of people coughing with it. And I don't want to smell like weed. I don't want to be addicted to it. I don't want to go around people and I smell like marijuana. It's just, I have no interest in it. Have no interest. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, same. My family members stay trying to get me high, smoking weed. I say no. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Keep it meth. All right, good. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to get on out of here. I enjoyed you guys here. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot. And I'll see you guys on the next video. DJ, where you at? Hey. Gotta get this here together.